The Dodgers need to stop doing this if they want to repeat as World Series champions in 2025. We get into exactly what that is in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Hopefully everybody's having a great Sunday. Dodgers lose tonight against the Yankees, but they do get 2 out of 3, right? Against the hated New York Yankees. They win the series out at Dodger Stadium, the only time they're going to play the Yankees in the 2025 regular season. The next time both teams could play will be in the World Series again, right? Because last year these two teams faced off in the 2024 World Series. We get that rematch again this year. That's kind of how Vegas has it, right? The rematch between New York and LA. But today it was a rough loss for the Dodgers, 7-3. And the Dodgers once again fell victim to just subpar starting pitching, right? Yoshinobu Yamamoto, once again, he's been the best pitcher for the Dodgers, but as of late, he had a rough start against the D-backs, a rough start against the Yankees. Those are the two big starts that I can recall that were definitely not the best ones. But today was probably the worst start for Yamamoto all season long. It only went 3 2/3. Gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and only 2 strikeouts. That was a big stat there. Only 2 strikeouts. It seemed like Yamamoto didn't really have his command early on, even the first inning. They were talking about it tonight on the broadcast on, of course, ESPN, the Sunday Night Crew, talking about how Yamamoto didn't really seem like he had, the strike zone kind of set, right? He just didn't have his command in the first inning, and that just did not set him up for success. And the Yankees kind of just jumped all over him early in this game, which is obviously not the way to go. The Yankees scored 4 runs in the first 3 innings. Dodgers, of course, picked up 1 in the second, but this game was not close. The Dodgers made it a bit interesting in the 7th inning, right? A couple back-to-back home runs, Pajes, and then, of course, Muncy, and then even Kike Hernandez just narrowly missed hitting a home run. At that point, if Hernandez would have hit that home run, it would have made the game 6-4, right? So maybe it would have been a different story if the Dodgers hit 3 home runs in a row in the 7th, but it just wasn't meant to be. And the Dodgers didn't get the best from Yamamoto tonight. I don't know what everybody thinks out there after today's loss. The Yankees seemed like they were motivated to not get swept by the Dodgers. Think about it. They came back and won in Game 1, a huge win. And then yesterday was a complete beatdown, right? 18-2 out at Dodger Stadium, basically showing who's boss yesterday. And today it just wasn't the Dodgers' day. I think the pitching just did not set them up, for success. And Yarbrough was pretty good as well for the Yankees, their starting pitcher. But what do the Dodgers have to do? What do they got to stop doing if they want to win the World Series? Well, I think they're going to have to find a way to get consistent, starting pitching, right? It's something that they haven't been able to get this year. Last year they didn't get it, and they were able to get away with it, and they won a World Series, mainly because of their bullpen coming up big and having bullpen starts and whatever they did to kind of put together a makeshift pitching rotation in the playoffs. And that's kind of what they've been doing so far this year as well in the regular season with all the injuries, stacking up. I mean, you got a lot of starting pitchers on the IL right now. Evan Phillips basically done for the year. That's another bad news. Luis Garcia also going to the IL. It just keeps getting worse for the Dodgers, right, when it comes to the injuries with their pitchers, right? It's like it doesn't get any better. Yamamoto is like basically the guy that's been healthy so far, and hopefully that stays the same because they can't afford having him going down either for any sort of time. Last year he was out for 3 months, so hopefully this year that doesn't happen. But what are the chances that he stays healthy all year? I mean, come on, think about it. I mean, the last few starts, Yamamoto hasn't really looked the same than how he looked in the first 4 or 5 starts of this year, right? I mean, it's been a bit of decline. If you look at the last 4 or 5 starts for Yamamoto, it has not been the same from what we saw in the first 5 of this year, right? It's like, 10, 11 starts now for Yamamoto so far this year? And, it's been the second half of these starts have not been the same in this season. So that's obviously a bit of a concern for the Dodgers. Today, I don't know if Yamamoto's fatigued. I know he's been pitching a lot. Almost went 100 pitches today, and as we know, didn't get out of the fourth inning. So there was a lot of stress pitches for Yoshinobu Yamamoto today, which is something that they're gonna have to keep an eye on now moving forward. As we move along in the year, right? I think that's gonna be the big concern for the Dodgers, right? As the energy of their pitchers and keeping them healthy, and because the injuries are clearly there, and that's why I think the Dodgers have to fix it. They got to stop having, they have to find a way to get consistent starting pitching, or it's just not going to be. They're not going to be able to get it done this year again, right? I don't think so. Especially the National League's pretty tight this year, right? I mean, you got the Cubs and Phillies basically ahead of the Dodgers right now for the overall standings in the National League. And even the Mets are right there. And guess who's coming to town starting tomorrow night? The Mets, right? The Dodgers and Mets are going to play for 4 straight days starting tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, right? 4 games, Monday through Thursday. That's going to be a tough test for the Dodgers again. Because as we know, they're going to start to get into those bullpen starts, basically, or having guys like Gonsolin and May, which you don't know what you're going to get, right? That's the problem. The Dodgers just don't have a starting rotation that they can depend on, and I think everybody can agree on that, and that's because of the injuries, right? I mean, there's just no other way around it. And today also, another key in today's game was the offense, right? I mean, the Yankees pitching shut Ohtani down 0 for 4, Teoscar Hernández 0 for 4, Freddie Freeman 0 for 4, Will Smith 0 for 4. That's your 4 top guys going 0 for 4. It's really hard to win a baseball game when they all go 0 for 4, right? It's very hard to win a game. Andy Pajes went 2 for 4 in today's game. Did have an error as well, the throwing error, which Yamamoto covered very well behind home plate. Remember, he ran out there, made a good play, but had a home run. Edman had a homer, and of course, Muncy as well, hitting a home run. But yeah, it definitely has been a bit of a struggle for sure. And of course, the bottom of the lineup having not the best today for the Dodgers as well. Kike Hernandez almost hitting a home run in the 7th, just missed it. But yeah, I mean that's going to be the big key now for the Dodgers moving forward. I think the offense is. I mean, look at this lineup. Mookie Betts is missing today, right? Missed the whole series with a toe injury. They said he's able to put on a shoe now for the first time since getting hurt this past week. So hopefully he's back soon. But the offense is going to score runs. I mean, the Dodgers are going to put runs on the board, right? They scored almost 30 runs this weekend against the Yankees, right? So they're going to score a lot of runs. It's just the pitching, right? Can they solve it? Can they get a rotation going? Because if they don't, I really don't see them going deep this year. I don't even see them making the World Series, right? They don't have a good starting rotation. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Dodgers. Woo!